Hey, you guys. Let's see what's going on surrounding the latest gossip surrounding you. I don't know why I'm laughing, but I just feel like this is about to be very funny. Divine, what is the message that we have here for today? Okay. So we have the Eight of Wands, so positive movement forward. Okay. And what else do we have, Divine, for this Eight of Wands here? Okay. So we have the solar plexus chakra. Yeah. So at this current moment, I feel like you are living in your purpose. You know, at this moment, you are very centered. This is how people are viewing you. You're very centered. People feel like you are focused on people that celebrate you. It's almost like an energy of reciprocity. If people are not celebrating with you, or they're not giving you your big ups, you're not doing the same as well. Like, I feel like you are matching energy at this present moment. And if it's not important, if it's not relevant, you are not giving it any time or any effort. Divine, what else is here? Okay. So we have the tower, so disruption. Yeah, I feel like it's most certainly has a lot to do with the many different changes that you've made in your life with the tower. You know, the tower is about those unexpected things, but I also feel like people were not expecting you to move in the manner into which you're moving. People thought in some way that you were going to be stuck, consistently doing the same thing, not knowing which direction you want to take, not knowing which direction you're going in. But a lot of people didn't know that you have a connection to source, that you have a connection with the divine. And there's also something here about your resilience, because I feel like a lot of people counted you out when they should have counted you in. And I feel like people discredited or discounted your dreams, your goals, your ambitions. It could be that the tables are turning at this present moment, because a lot of people who had a lot of stable careers, a lot of stable jobs, who were making a lot of money, they are seeing a decline within the job industry. You know, a lot of people are getting laid off. A lot of organizations are getting ready to close because of everything that's going on with the government. But somehow, some way, you continue to progress and you continue to move forward, and you make it out of a lot of trying times. And a lot of people are wondering how you're doing this, because whether you know this or not, people are watching you. They may not engage you, but somebody is always watching. You know, Divine, what else? Okay. And then we have love began. So essentially the Ace of Cups. Yeah. So this, I feel like what's happening is in spaces where you were not given what you needed or what you felt like you needed, I feel like you're on the path to getting that. Once again, if it does not edify, uplift, and encourage, you are not taking part in it. I feel like a lot of people are not expecting you to come into new bonds, new relationships, find things that really work out with you, come into new love. And I don't mean love in the sense of another person, love in the sense of yourself and what it is you want to do. And I feel like you never gave up on that. I feel like this is something that people are also noticing, that you never gave up on that, despite how many disruptions, interruptions, or things happened in your life. You never gave up on your dream, and you still continue to progress and work towards that. I feel like you are going to be on the lucky side of things pretty soon, especially if you've been doing the work. Once again, if you have not been doing the work, do not expect any change. You can't have these great and good things if you're not doing anything about it, especially if you're in a space where you're constantly playing victim. It's different when something happens to you. That's totally fine. You are a victim in that sense, but you can't be a victim when you have been given the necessary tools and resources to change your situation, and you're still constantly whining about where you are in this present moment. If you don't have the things that you desire and the things that you don't want, or excuse me, the things that you want, you may have to turn the mirror on yourself and begin to analyze your own life and see where you are having some shortcomings. Divine, what else is here? Okay. So we have heartache and loss, as well as harmony. So essentially the Three of Swords and the Lovers. Yep, you've dealt with a lot of things here with this Three of Swords, and I feel like from those endings, a lot of things began for you. It's as simple as putting the effort the effort, the love, the belief that you had in other people, you began to nourish and put that in yourself. I feel like balance for you is a thing, and I also feel like harmony with the card is a thing. You're coming into balance with who you're truly meant to be in this lifetime, where you're truly meant to go, the effort that it takes in order to get there. There's something here about consistency. Like a lot of you all have began to lock in even before this last quarter of 2025. Like a lot of you began to lock in a few years ago. You've been putting in the effort, you've been putting in the time. And honestly, if you are in the same position that you were in 3 years ago, 2 years ago, or even a year ago, I don't think you have anyone to blame for that but yourself. You know, we'll say that there you can be set back, but there's only a particular time that an external source will be able to hold you back, because you're going to find your way out of something. You're going to find your way in order to get to where you need to go. If you stay there, that is a decision and a choice. Divine, what else is here? So we have deception as well as envy. Yeah. I feel like people are realizing that the mistakes that they've made, the lies, the deception, and then when it comes down to something as harsh as deception and envy, I feel like there were people who envied your life. You know, whether you know this or not, whether you feel like your life is worth envying or not, this is what other people feel. And if you have that type of energy that's magnetic, that people know, like if anybody has ever told you, oh, you remind me of a star, or you have celebrity status, or you seem like someone everyone should know, in itself that is a compliment, but that also says a lot about the people that you surround yourself with and how they view and think about you. Because how many people have you been around where they said that and they lack that potential themselves? You know, there have been people that I know who have made way more money than me, and you know, they still envied me in some way, and I just didn't understand it. I really truly didn't. Have the tides changed, you know, since then? Absolutely. And I'm going to speak more so for myself. Have those tides changed? Absolutely. That's because I've done the work. That's because I put in the effort and the time in myself. I've stopped giving to people who were not given to me, and I put all of that energy back in myself. Divine, what else is here? And we have financial and material changes. Yeah, see what effort gets you. People are viewing you as somebody who's moved on. Like there, I don't feel like there's anything that's conflictual here. People are viewing you as somebody who's more grounded and more stable. And if you know, more stable than where you used to be. More stable than where people thought you were, or where they thought you would be, because people thought that you were going to be stuck, and they're beginning to realize that their words truly have no power, that it all fell on deaf ear. Like, no, you didn't pay attention to any of that. You began to still accelerate. And then we have intuition as well as temptation. The devil, yes, you knew better. And in these spaces, you knew better. You knew something was up. Once again, I believe I said it in the other reading. Your intuition has been guiding you throughout this process. Like, your intuition has moved you away from people that don't mean you any good, moved you away from people who would be disparaging and harmful to your efforts and your dreams. And I feel like that's the reason why you were removed from a lot of people. Sometimes you won't understand things till later on in life, or as my grandma would say, you will understand it better by and by, as you began to experience life and as you began to make those steps to move progressively in directions that you feel you need to go. It's all about betterment. A lot of people are locking in now. And it's very important. It's very crucial, because one thing that you do could actually change the rest of your life. And I do feel like you've been guided in that direction. Your intuition has been leading you in ways that you can't even imagine. Even when you were in spaces of hurt, harm, and danger and had no awareness, your higher self did. And that's the thing that caused you to move out of these situations, because these situations would have been nothing but harmful to you. Divine, last few messages. we have prosperity begins. I feel like there are people who have noticed that when you moved away from them, when you got away, that's when things began to start happening for you. That's when things began to work out for you. You had less negative entities bothering you concerning themselves with what you have going on, just so they can speak ill about what you have going on behind your back. Because that's what that Seven of Swords is about. That deception as well as envy. People envied your life and they wanted to deceive you to make you feel like you couldn't move any further. Like you maybe shared your dreams with people and they gave it little to nothing. You know, you had friends on social media and anytime you posted anything, they wouldn't like, share, comment, they wouldn't do anything. They would not engage your post, you know, and relatable. Definitely relatable. But I feel like you yourself, whether you know it or not, you were hidden competition. You were a hidden inspiration to these people. And I feel like that's the thing that people won't say. You were the standard in a lot of ways where other people may have been grounded materialistically. You were grounded spiritually, which honestly is the road to go, because if you seek the kingdom first, everything else will be added unto you, especially if you're a Bible believer. I feel like there's a lot of accomplishments that you've made, and your intuition has not steered you wrong. It steered you in a manner into which prosperity can begin. So for a lot of you all, you have been doing the work without reward. And if it has been reward, it's been what you would consider small. But this is only the very beginning of what could be a prosperous life for you. And that only works if you've been doing the work. I will remind you that tarot is not about future outcomes. It's not about how much money you can get. Where are you in your journey? Have you done the work? Have you made the efforts to have what you would consider a better life? Because everyone would have you think that it would be something else. But if we understood the nature of our lives, we can better understand where we're getting ready to go. But that was the reading, you guys. Hopefully this message resonates with you in some way, shape, form, or fashion, and you're able to take something from it that you could use. Of course, if there's anything that you need from me, you can find those details down below in the description box, and that does include our sponsor, Psychic Source. Use my unique code JMarion and you can get up to 40 minutes of clarity and insight for only $19.80. And if you do speak with any advisor, if you're not satisfied with the clarity, the insight that you receive, you can get your money back. So you win, period. Okay. Those details down below in the description box. And as always, my good people, remember to conquer this day, and I'll see you in the network. Bye, guys.